Emilio Silva, founder and director of the Spain-based Association for the Recovery of Historical Memory, ARMH, is the winner of the 2015 ALBA Puffin Award for Human Rights Activism. The Spanish judicial system has a list of 113,000 victims of right-wing repression who lie in unmarked mass graves strewn all over the Spanish peninsula.
When 15 years ago, Emilio unearthed his grandfather's body from the ditch, from the mass grave where he had been thrown, he broke a code of silence.
About my grandfather, 62 years after, she still were waiting for him. And when I found the place of the mass grave, I found my father, and I said, I don't believe I am in the place of your father's grave. Sorry, because my father died 2 years ago, and exactly in May, and for me it's very impressionant to be here.
The Association for the Recovery of Historical Memory was established in 2000. It was born out of journalist Emilio Silva's struggle to exhume the remains of his grandfather from the ditch he was thrown into after his execution by local fascists in 1936.
But it didn't work that time. So what was it about it's 60 years. It was more than 60 years. Why did it take so long for Spain to be in a place where people felt now is the time to do these investigations?
Mine wake up, no? And I thought we need the music of the memory to wake up our democracy. And if you don't have this music, we don't have we are not a completely democratic country, because we have to make the work of human rights to look for the effort to look for these people, because we need these people and the memory of these people to are a complete democracy country.
I like to say that the problem in Spain is that we don't have victimless crimes, we have crimeless victims, right? They are victims, but of what, right? So the local judge says, that's a murder, 25-year statute of limitations or whatever it is, so there's no crime here.
And I don't want this country. I want a country with justice for all the people.
The award returns to Spain to throw a lifeline to a wonderful organization, the Association for the Recovery of Historical Memory, which has done so much on behalf of the victims of Francoism. The association, like ALBA, believes that the best way to fight injustice is to educate people about the past.
Recuerdan qué pasó, si recuerdan no lo cuentan bien, no se acuerdan de lo que pasó, y si se acuerdan, mienten. ¿Quién ganó y quién perdió? Perdimos todos, que en la guerra y el amor, con fusiles no hay claveles.
As we do from textbooks. It is imperative that our students become educated global citizens. I am thrilled to know that ALBA is helping hundreds of high school teachers around the country to incorporate the story of the Spanish Civil War and the Lincoln Brigade into their lessons, encouraging young people to think about the values they hold and what it takes to stand up for what they believe in.
ALBA does more than this. We teach them about human rights. We talk about Guernica, the bombing of civilians, and the helpless refugees who were put in French and eventually German concentration camps. Peter, he does a great little bit on human rights. He shows slides and photographs that tell a story that goes all the way from Guernica to Dresden to Hiroshima. A story that goes on to B-52s in the 60s and killer drones in our present. And issues that affect the world. Racial injustice like in Baltimore or Ferguson, bullying in schools, deterioration of the environment. Students have to believe, we tell these teachers, your students have to believe they can make a difference. They have to find out what they believe in, have to be able to stand up for what they believe in. And we remind the teachers that their main responsibility is not to stuff their students' heads with facts that they'll forget anyway after the test. Their job is to teach students about the importance of becoming citizens who have to make ethical choices.
Emilio and the other folks we're supporting are doing. They may be looking at history, but they're activists and they're looking to the future as well, just like ALBA's educational work.
They had been murdered 64 years earlier. Their crime? Building Spain's first experiment in democracy, defending free education, equality, and the right to prosper collectively. In that grave, the remains of Emilio Silva Fava were found. He was the first victim of the Francoist repression ever to be identified via DNA testing. The silence had been perforated, and out of this opening, the Association for the Recovery of Historical Memory was born. In its 15 years of existence, the association has conducted over 100 exhumations. It has helped thousands of families bury their loved ones with dignity and to find out what happened to them. The search for the disappeared serves many purposes. It promotes true democracy in Spain by compelling us to recognize those who fought for it and protected it. It makes sure that the suffering of so many people was not in vain. It helps construct a culture of human rights where Spanish citizens will be able to say, with true conviction, never again.
And its advocacy at the national and international levels on behalf of all those who suffered political repression during the Franco dictatorship, given in the city of New York, May the 9th of 2015. Please help me welcome Emilio Silva.
It's difficult to talk after this video because the video tells one important part of our story, like a social movement. We are helping a lot of people to find documents, to know their story, and I think it's very important. I am waiting for this opportunity in the Spanish schools. Our students never study the history of these men and women in the mass graves. These scholar books don't want to say that the first democratic elections in Spain were in the Second Republic, because it's part of the secret in our country, the secret of the fathers and mothers of these democratic years during the 30s. And part of our work is go to the schools, the scholar centers, but it's very difficult. We have a lot of resistance. And I only want to say again, thank you, and remember the Uruguayan writer, recently dead, Eduardo Galeano, small people in small places, making small things can change the world. Thank you very much.
Viva la
la 15 Brigada.